We develop an action plan and we implement. So we produce a document about this, about our goal, objective and our strategy, and then we implement. We put it into action. When we implement, we're talking about the actions that we are taking, that we are performing using the inputs that we have to produce what? What are we producing? When we're using the inputs and performing actions, what are we producing? Outputs. Yes. Yes. So we want to look at the outputs. Once we have outputs, what do? We monitor. Right, we look at the process. We say, have we achieved the output? Have we made progress? And then we evaluate. We share the progress we made, we review and revise, and we share it. Your new strategy will help you to plan and to guide you, right? Especially when it's difficult. When it's difficult, if you have, if you didn't reach your goal, if you didn't achieve all the things that you wanted to, then you have to look at it and you have to think about what is it that went wrong, right? And then you have to start addressing those things that went wrong to try and improve. And if it went right, then you replicate, then you do it again because it's working. You don't take things that are working and throw them away, you use them. Right? You know what they say, don't fix what is not broken. You only fix things that are broken. So if it's working, you keep it and you use it. And if it's not working, then we say, look at what is wrong and maybe we need to change it. Sometimes it may have been working, but in the middle of the year, the person who was running that project leaves, right? Or they get ill, or something happens, right? Or there's a disaster, or there is anything can happen. They normally say, the term they use is life happens. Right, there's a project but life happens, something happened. Or all of a sudden there's a big sinkhole on the road between there's only one road and on that road there's a sinkhole between Amman and Aqaba. And you can't move for whatever reason. Right, so you need to now start saying, how do I correct that? And the quickest way to get the thing back on track, the quickest way to find somebody to fill that position, the quickest way to fill that road, or the quickest way to repair that road, or to, maybe we need to now hire helicopters or whatever.
بس لازم يكون عندك risk management يعني شيء يعني I think.
Yes, and that is where we're going to on the next slide. Right? Identify your risks and have your risk management plan. Now, honestly speaking, let's be honest, do we have a risk management plans for all our programs and projects?
احنا خطة المخاطر نضعها على مستويات. الآن موجود لدينا خطة مخاطر على مستوى الأهداف الاستراتيجية. وبما إنه احنا استراتيجيتنا مبنية على بطاقات الأداء المتوازنة. في كل خطة تشغيلية نترك المجال لكل وحدة إدارية إنها تحدد المخاطر اللي بتواجهها في عدم وبتمنحها من تنفيذ أهدافها التشغيلية.
My question would be who monitors the risk management plan and how often and where is it located?
على مستوى الأهداف التشغيلية كل إدارة بحد ذاتها بتتابع مخاطرها. المخاطر الاستراتيجية في قسم التخطيط الاستراتيجي.
Okay, so we do it a little bit different in the sense that we have in the organization, and every organization should have a risk unit, and that is managed by the, and who checks on that is the internal audit every now and again. Right, so you can decide how you want to keep it, but generally I think most places they would have a unit or somebody assigned to look at the risks for the whole department, for all the projects, and they would collect a report every quarter on the risks. If a project didn't, and this is how it's done, if the project didn't proceed as it was scheduled to proceed, then you would have to explain it in that report, right? Because it most probably would be delayed for some reason.
دكتور سجلها توصية بس يكون في عندنا قسم إدارة المخاطر.
If you speak in the mic, please.
لا أنا بطلب من زميلي الدكتور زياد يسجلها توصية لمجلس المفوضين.
في section
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay. So you need to be able to monitor your risks just like you monitor your progress. And most of the time you don't want to have many risks because you would have to talk about it. Now you're lucky here. You're very fortunate. Now, in my country, all this is legislated. Everything is legislated. It's a law. So we have to go as officials, you know, like the officials. We have to prepare a report on all these things, all these processes and all the projects that have been implemented and even identify. And we have to go to we have like it's actually to the parliament. And they have little committees that look after these things. And you've got to present them to the committees. And it's not pleasant. It is not pleasant. Because if you are the project owner, they're not listening to anything. They just want to know, why didn't you see to it that it happened? Right. So in that sense, you're very fortunate. You've not yet got to that stage, but in time you will get there. We are moving towards it, right? We're moving towards it.
لو أعطي مثال أنا بالنسبة للسلطة من سنة 2022 وجاي في صار تعديلات على القانون يمكن بداية 22 إذا يصدقون الشباب صار في تعديلات على قانون المنطقة. أوكي، وهذه التعديلات أثرت على نسبة الإيرادات اللي تحصل عليها السلطة من إجمالي الإيرادات اللي المفروض تحصلها، لأنه الجمارك سحبوها من السلطة وأتبعوها لوزارة المالية. فصار في شورت بحدود 40 مليون في موازنة السلطة، واحنا بنعرف انه هاي المبالغ يعني اكيد اذا بدنا نشتغل صح بطريقة سليمة وبناء على خططنا الاستراتيجية راح تأثر على اهداف الاستراتيجية اللي راح بدي احققها، وبالتالي قامت وزارة المالية بتعويض السلطة بهذا المبلغ على مدار 3 سنوات قادمة. بس أنا حبيت أوضح لأن تقول إحنا محظوظين في دولتنا، برضو إحنا في عندنا تعديلات على التشريع والقانون.
Okay. But when I said to you, lucky, I mean going and sitting in front of the politicians, the committees, and being answering questions. And when you sit there, politicians are not kind to you because they are politicians.
برضو كمان بدي أوضح هلا السلطة حالها كحال أي مؤسسة حكومية تخضع لرقابة البرلمان بشقين اللي هو مجلس الأعيان ومجلس النواب، بالإضافة للذراع التنفيذي لمجلس النواب واللي هو ديوان المحاسبة، بالإضافة لهيئة النزاهة ومكافحة الفساد. ويتقدم استفسارات من النواب ونطلع بنناقش وندافع وباللي نقدر عليه بهذه الجزئيات.
Okay, accepted. All right, okay, accepted. So now we've completed with the risks. We're going to now move and we're going to talk about the executive plan. We spoke about this morning, so we're not going to talk about it now, right? We've already covered it. You remember we had this discussion about whether you were calling it your operational plan or your implementation plan. So it's basically, you can put down whatever term you want on that. And then the next slide is talking to you about the difference between the strategic plan and the annual performance plan. Next slide for now. Yeah, this one. We're talking about the differences. Now we said the strategic plan. Now I don't know. I still have to figure this out about the terminology. All right. I'm going to try and figure this out by tomorrow morning. So the strategic plan we all understand. It is your intermediate outcome. That's where you're going to with your strategic plan. It is a general guide for management. It's normally, it suggests the strategies that you will use to achieve those outcomes or those goals, that the long-term, the strategic goals. And then the time frame is 3 to 5 years. I've noticed you do them for 3 years, right? You do it for 3 years. We have elections which you don't have. So when we do ours, and in a lot of places where we have elections, then we prepare our plans in line with the electoral cycle. So our elections are every 5 years. Right, so when a political party comes in, then they come with their policies. Then you have to have your strategic plans aligned to those policies. All right, so, and those mandates. And then we draw a new strategic plan aligned to the electoral cycle. Next year we're going to have elections again. And when it comes towards the time for elections, which you next year. Yes, presidential elections. And when it comes towards the time for presidential elections, we have a lot of unfunded mandates coming up, or lots of requests from the politicians and the political parties. Do you know why? Do you know why? No. Can you guess why?
خط أحمر.
يمكن رؤية الحزب الحاكم الجديد مختلفة تماما يعني عن الشيء اللي كان يمشي عليه السابق.
Because they want your votes, so they'll come with giving people, increasing their social security or giving people something so that you will vote for the party that is in power. Or a few years ago, we had on the eve of the elections, and it came without. I mean, they were talking about it, But on the eve, and everyone thought, oh, this is like a ridiculous thing. But on the eve of the election, the president who was there, wanting his party to win, makes an announcement that there will be free higher education for everybody who wants to go to higher education. Now, can you imagine what it's going to cost? So, right, so let's move now. Now we can go to slide 50. Now this one we're not going to talk because we've already spoken about this, about yourself. We spoke about your aspirations. Isn't that so? In between our discussions. Right, we're talking about the slide before this. Oh, okay, this slide is looking a bit different from mine, so let's go to the next slide. Go to slide 51. Is that 51? 51. Or 50. Yeah, but 51. It's the one with the tree and the... Right. So, if we're looking at that, we say, now we gave you the example again of the problem tree. Yeah, we put the example of the problem tree. We said we started off with our causes, which we looked at the bottom, the causes of all the issues that we are going to address. We're looking at the effect of the causes, right? High pollution, people are getting sick.